Good evening, y'all. Kind of low energy today, so I didn't have anything special to do. I'm just kind of taking it easy and stuff. I'm actually pretty surprised that I'm low energy because usually once I do like physical activity the day before, that helps my energy the next day. But you know, that's just the flavor of life, just sometimes things don't always work out. So, anyways, today's Unis Honest video was we buy a professional hypnosis video and react to it. And this one, the boys, like, I don't know if they did this intentionally or if this was genuinely like an accident, but they bought a video that appeared to be some sort of very niche kink of softcore porn. I don't know, like they uh they bought this video and it was like this very young looking girl in like this dark makeup, and I think maybe she had bleach blonde hair or it was dyed black, and she was like kind of, I think she was like a little bit gothy looking, and she had like, medallion going back and forth. But the whole time she was basically like just berating the viewer or whatever, like as if the viewer were their stepdad. It was just like very strange and like I don't know. It was a weird one that Unisanis did, and I don't know if they did that intentionally or if that was a genuine accident that they paid like I think it was a pretty incredible amount too for this basically this like 40-minute long movie of this woman saying these things to the camera. And I think they like paid, I don't know, like $50 or something crazy for it. I don't know. But hey, I guess when you're famous YouTubers, you have that kind of money to throw away. But I was thinking, in response to that, I am going to just reflect on kind of where I'm at with this project I'm taking. And also, I was kind of thinking, like, they paid for it and they talked about it, I think, like in the video where they recapped all the videos at the end of the series. I think they said something about, like, oh, supporting your local artists, supporting an independent artist. Like, it's money well spent, and that's definitely a valid point. You should spend money and take care of your artists. Art is labor, and also sex work is work. If we're taking into consideration the fact that that was sort of in a weird way, I don't know if you would call it like pornographic, but like it being kind of, I don't know, what do you call that? Tell me in the comments what you call that, because my brain cannot. I'll probably think of it after I'm done recording. But anyways, that sort of, yeah, that like that kink or tease or whatever like you call it, that, I don't know, that weird thing that people like to get done. I think it falls under the BDSM category. Anyways, that all aside, I wanted to think of ways that you can support artists for free, and also just things in general that cost you literally $0. So, first off, I did want to think about, kind of just reflect on where I'm at with this project. So, I think what this is 22 videos in. I'm actually pretty pleased with how I feel like I've already grown. Like, I remember reading or hearing somewhere, there's the idea of the gap. If you've heard that thing, just Google the gap and maybe like artists so you don't get like the brand. Um, but like, artists have this gap of where they are and their taste and where they want to be. And there is something, I may have already said this in a previous video, but there was something about it takes 50 videos. You're going to make 50 terrible videos and then you'll start making good ones or something like that. I remember hearing once. So already at 2022 now, I'm actually pretty pleased with the progress I've made. I've done a little bit of editing, which I haven't done in 6 years. Um, and I've done some pretty goofy stuff. I actually did the chubby gummy challenge, like the way the boys did a little bit. I mean, in a weird way, but I definitely felt really like, I don't know if I would, if proud is the right word, but very satisfied with the fact that I did do that, and that I felt like that was a true homage. and I feel like there's a lot of things too that I need to work on and figure out. And I definitely think there's work that can be done to improve my videos. I'm not really worried too much about the quality. It's kind of just a quantity thing at this point. But I'm happy with how I feel like I've progressed, and I've tried to film around different parts of my apartment and kind of get a different flavor of that. Um, and I'm still like just figuring my life out, but this has actually been a really nice side project to do while I'm also figuring my life out. Now, new segment, I want to talk about ways to support your artists and also just things you can do for literally $0. So, um, supporting your artists, I mean, like, of course, like, if you have the money, if you have the resources, like, definitely, like, yeah, like, help fiscally support your artists because, sure, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does buy you, like, a place to live and, like, food and things, which are kind of important to, like, survival, especially in these times, this capitalist hellscape in which we live. So do support your artists financially if you can. If you can buy their art, if you can support their Patreon, if you can buy them a meal, if you can buy them supplies, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. I don't think that everybody realizes how expensive art supplies are because people are like, oh, it's just a hobby. But like, like if you want to professionally make anything, like literally, like if you are not an artist, go into an art store and at least even just look at like how expensive some starter kits for certain like styles of art can be. Buying a set of acrylic paints, easily 30, 50 plus dollars. Oh, sorry. Easily just like super expensive. Just for like the basic, the like primary colors. Sorry, I guess I didn't prop this up as well as I could have, but here we are. For like just the primary colors and maybe a few others, like they'll give you the rainbow or whatever, but like if you want like even a reasonable amount, I mean, like you don't necessarily need like a massive tube of paint unless you're making big canvases. I usually honestly get these little, like, they might even be like a half an ounce. They're really small. They come in an array of I think like 12 different colors. And those are the kinds I would always get from like the university bookstore. They had a nice little crafts and arts section. And that might have been like 2025, but like I mean, like getting like sure, like kids supplies are inexpensive. If you buy like a watercolor set for a child, it might be $5, but if you want to buy some professional supplies that people could actually, they, if that is their profession and if that is their craft, then you need to respect that, and like it's expensive. So anyways, yeah, if you can so yeah, big tangent about art supplies are expensive. Should they be? I have so many questions about if things should cost what they cost, but also at the same time, when you do pay for quality in some cases. So um, I don't know all the details of that, but I think that's an interesting thing to just consider about like how expensive that is and things. But so yeah, Patreon, if somebody has it or any sort of subscription, I think that's a great thing you can do to support your artist friends. And I don't know that everybody thinks to do it, or maybe I just think to do it because I too am an artist and I like understand and value that. I'm not at the level of like professional artistry that I think I deserve any sort of like subscription or like money or whatever. But at the same time, like I acknowledge a lot of people in my circle who I do think pursue that to that level. And if they could just live off their art, they should, because they put a lot of work, a lot of money invested into supplies, musicians, in instruments and stereo equipment, all that stuff. Van if you're touring, like that can be so expensive, and just like general costs. I mean, cost of living, like that on top of also just sinking money into pursuing your passion. It's a lot. And so then there are also ways though that you can support artists for free. You can share their art. You can share it on social media. You can, get them their likes and things. I don't know how things like ad revenue tallies up for people. I do know a few people that used to have ads on their website, sort of thing, and they would get like, a couple cents, whatever. So even just a click onto their link might get them money. I don't know how YouTube works with how the money is. I'm certainly not making any money at the very small capacity that I'm working at with it. And I'm okay with that because I'm just doing this for me, and I'm doing this like for my personal growth and development, and also to honor and acknowledge like Unisonus and how big of a social event that was. So, but anyways, yeah, sharing and following and liking and like all that stuff. I mean, like even just like compliments, like truthfully, like just saying like in hearts, like I really admire your work, or like, oh my God, this drawing like speaks to me. This is amazing, or oh my God, your music like changed my life. Like I'm sure that means a lot. Like I know definitely when people say like, "Oh, like tell me that I'm funny or I'm thoughtful or they like the way my voice sounds or whatever," like stupid things like that, like really does mean a lot. So definitely support your artists. And if you can't do it so financially, that doesn't mean that you can't help them. Like there are so many things you can do, both free. And then here's also a list of things that you can do for literally $0, just in general, as a human being. You can be nice to people. You can smile at people. You can wave at people. They might hate it. They might appreciate the acknowledgement. I remember reading a story about somebody who was in like a really dark place, but somebody just like waved to them. I don't know, it was in their car, on the street, whatever. Somebody just gave them a wave and a smile. And that like just it so improved their day. And that was like that's so crazy that something small like that can sometimes stick in somebody's brain. But you can do that, just person to person. You can smile or wave or acknowledge. They might not even see you. Who cares? I'll wave at people a lot sometimes when I'm on an evening run because I don't expect to see people. I'll just wave. Like I don't know, why not? Hey, I see you. Like getting your run and getting your walk in tonight. That's good. So I mean, obviously, like, don't do anything too stupid or rude. Like, don't like shout at people. Like, they're obviously like nice things you can do for literally $0. And also, guess what? You can do that for literally $0 too. Is like not be an asshole. But using somebody's pronouns. Asking somebody how their day was. Being respectful if somebody wants to be like left alone or whatever. Like there's so many things and there's so many lists online of like it costs literally $0 to do this nice thing and be a good human. So that's what I'm thinking about today is our boys may have paid for some questionable material, but there are a lot of things out there you can do for literally $0. So think about that because I'm thinking about it. If you don't want to think about it, that's fine too. Guess what? That costs you literally $0 too. So put it on the list. Um, anyways, I'm gonna finish my coffee. Uh, I just had like a weird kind of out of it day, but that's okay. That happens sometimes to the best of us. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna ponder on that a little more. But I hope you have a nice evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.